There's a sound in the library basement that only I can hear. It starts as a soft scrape, like a fingernail dragged along cardboard, then a wet little thump, then the slow exhale of something warm being let go. It happens at irregular intervals, never when anyone else is near me, and never when I have a phone recording. I say it out loud anyway. Did you hear that? Mara at the circulation desk keeps stamping due dates without looking up. Len from archives lifts one earbud and smiles like I am trying to start a ghost story. It is the building settling, he says. The basement is old. The pipes rattle. The book drop chute runs down from the sidewalk slot. Mara says, "You are jumpy. Drink water." But the sound is not pipes. It has intention. It has a pause in it that feels like listening. I work evenings as a page. Quiet work, predictable work. I like it because the rules are physical. You move a cart. You scan a barcode. You slide a book into a place where it belongs. Order with a call number. That is why the return slot bothers me. The return slot in this ranch is a metal mouth set into the wall by the staff door. Outside, patrons push books through a slot in the brick. Inside, the chute ends in the basement sorting room where I empty the bin. Most nights it is normal. Hardcovers land with dull weight. Paperbacks slap, then settle. Then, 3 weeks ago, I open the bin and a book is warm. Not warm like it sat in the sun. Warm like it was pressed against skin. I hold it with 2 fingers as if it might leave residue. It is a copy of The Secret Garden, cloth bound, faded, with a clear cover that smells faintly of detergent. The warmth is under the plastic, in the paper itself. I scan the barcode. The computer chirps. No record. I try again. Sell. I check the inside cover for the usual stamped pocket. It has our stamp. It has our inventory number. It looks like ours in every way, but there is no checkout history. No holds, no patron attached. It has never left. I take it upstairs to Mara. She frowns, types, pulls up the item record. She taps the screen with her nail. Acquisition date from years ago. Status available. No transactions. Weird, she says. Probably got misshelved and found its way back in. How would it end up in the return slot if it never left? She shrugs. People do strange things. Maybe someone found it in the building and shoved it in. I do not argue. I put it on the reshelf cart. That night, the sound starts. Scrape. Oh, exhale. I am alone in the basement. The fluorescent lights buzz. The air is cool and dry. Paper dust and old carpet glue. The bin sits under the chute like a patient metal box. The scrape comes from inside the chute. I step closer. It happens again. A pause, then the wet little thump as if something heavy slides and hits the bottom. Then the exhale, warm air washing out of the mouth of the chute. I lean in. The air is warmer than the basement, not by much, but enough to make my skin prickle. It smells faintly of human hair, like a clean scalp at the end of a day. I tell myself it is street heat trapped in the chute. Then a book drops. Not with the clatter of gravity. It arrives too softly, as if guided. I lift the lid of the bin. Inside is a thin paperback, warm through the cover. The warmth bleeds into my palm. It is a title I recognize because I shelve it often. A true crime paperback with a cracked spine. I scan it. No record. It has never been checked out. I feel my mouth go dry. I take it upstairs. Mara makes the same face, the one she uses when the printer jams. Sometimes the system drops old history, she says. Sometimes barcodes get replaced, but the record says it has never moved. She does not like the way I say it. I can tell. She tries to keep her voice light. It is probably a cataloging error. Put it back. Odd too. The next night there are 2 warm books. Then 3. They are always ours, always stamped, always clean, always warm like a body just let go. None have checkout history. Their spines are not cracked. Their corners are not softened. Some still have that stiff newness even though their acquisition dates are old. The sound comes before each drop. Scrape. Oh, exhale. I start timing it. I start listening for footsteps upstairs. Nothing lines up. The drops happen when the building is quiet, when no one is at the outside slot. Once, I check the security camera feed on the staff computer, the one that shows the exterior drop box. The screen is grainy and angled wrong. The outside sidewalk is empty when the scrape comes. No one believes me. Len laughs and says maybe the library is returning its own books. I do not laugh. I start leaving the sorting room door open so I can hear if anyone comes down. The sound still happens when I am alone. It never happens when someone is standing next to me. I begin to dread the basement. The stairs down feel steeper. The air feels thicker. The fluorescent lights seem to hum closer to my ears. On the 4th night, the warm book comes with a receipt. At first I think it is a hold slip, like the ones that print when a patron requests something. But it is not our paper. It is thinner, smoother, and the ink is black in a way that looks too fresh. The receipt is folded in half and tucked into the book like a bookmark. I open it. It is a checkout receipt, not from our system. There is no logo, no barcode, just a list of titles and timestamps printed in a plain font. At the top it says returned in neat capitals. The timestamp is tonight, down to the minute. Under it is a line that makes my throat tighten. It has my name, not the name on my badge, which is my nickname. My full name, the one only my mother uses when she is angry. Below that is an address I have not lived at in 7 years. My hands shake enough that the paper flutters. I look around the basement as if someone might be standing between the shelves. I take the receipt upstairs. Mara squints, then laughs once. A quick sound. Okay, that is creepy, she says, but there's a smile in it like she thinks it is a prank. I did not print it. She holds it up to the light. The ink is crisp. She rubs her thumb over the letters. It does not smear. She tries to tear it a little at the edge, like she wants to prove it is normal paper. It resists more than it should, then gives with a stiff snap. The torn edge looks clean, too clean, like it was cut. She hands it back. Probably someone messing with you, she says. A patron. Do not engage. How would a patron know my full name? Mara does not answer that. She looks past me at the public computers, as if she expects someone to be watching. She tells me to clock out early if I feel unsafe. I stay anyway. I tuck the receipt into my pocket. The paper feels warm too. At home, I smooth it on my kitchen table. The ink looks like it was printed seconds ago. The titles listed are books I have shelved this week. The timestamps are times I was in the basement. At the bottom is a line. Thank you for keeping them safe. I sleep with the lights on. The next evening, I bring the receipt back. I want to show Len, to force someone else to see what I see, but when I take it out of my pocket, it is perfect. The torn corner is gone. The fold crease is gone. It is whole again, like it never left the printer. I stare at it until my vision blurs. I try to make a mark on it with a pen. The ink beads and slides off as if the paper is coated in something invisible. I press harder. The pen scratches. Nothing stays. The receipt never fades. It never stains. It never keeps my mark. At night, the basement's sound is louder. Scrape. Oh, exhale. The warm air comes out in a slow push that lifts the hair along my arms. A book drops. Then another. Space-like footsteps. I do not open the bin right away. I stand there, hands on the lid, listening. On the fourth scrape, the sound does not stop. It continues, slow and steady, like something dragging itself down the chute. My stomach tightens. I step back. The scraping grows closer, then stops, right at the end of the chute, just above the bin. There is a pause long enough for me to hear my own breathing. Then a soft tap from inside the metal mouth, like knuckles. Once, twice. I back toward the stairs. The sorting room feels suddenly too small, full of shelves and carts that could hide someone. A book drops with a wet thump that sounds wrong, heavier than paper should be. I run upstairs. Mara looks up, annoyed, then sees my face. What I cannot get my voice to work at first. It is doing it again, I manage. It is not just books. Mara stands, her chair legs squealing. She follows me to the staff door that leads to the basement stairs. We stand at the top, listening. Nothing. The building is quiet. The air smells like carpet cleaner and old glue. Somewhere, a child laughs softly in the stacks upstairs. Mara gives me a look that is half concern, half impatience. I'm going to check, she says, and I want you to stay here. I nod too quickly. She goes down alone. I grip the railing until my knuckles ache. I listen for her footsteps, for the hum of the basement lights. A minute passes. Then Mara calls up. It is fine, she says. There are books in the bin. Normal. I do not believe her. I go down anyway. The sorting room looks the same. The bin lid is closed. Mara stands beside it with her arms crossed. See, she flips the lid. Inside are 3 books. All warm, all clean, and on top of them, perfectly centered, is my receipt. It is folded in half, crisp as new. Mara stares at it. She reaches in and touches it with one finger, like it might bite. Okay, she says quietly. Okay? I watch her face change as she reads the top line. The receipt has her name on it now. Her full name. Under it is an address. Mara swallows. Her throat moves like she is trying to push down something sharp. This is not funny, she says. Len comes down then, drawn by our voices. He is still smiling until he sees the receipt. What is that? Mara holds it out. Len takes it, reads, and his smile fades. The receipt does not stop at names and addresses. It lists details like casual notes, a dog with a tumor, a father in hospice, a locked box under a bed, things that do not belong on any receipt. Len reads his line and goes pale. Who knows that? He whispers. Mara snatches the receipt back and crumbles it hard in her fist. We are calling the police, she says. She tries to throw the crumbled ball into the trash. It bounces off the rim and lands on the floor. We all watch it. The paper relaxes by itself, not springing open like normal paper. Uncreasing. Soudain, the wrinkles sliding out as if they were never pressed. In seconds it is flat again. Perfect, and the ink is untouched. Len backs up until he hits a cart. Mara picks it up with a gloved hand from the cleaning closet. She drops it into a clear evidence bag, seals it, then seals it again. The police come an hour later. 2 officers, bored at first, then less so when they see the bag. They ask if anyone has access to the chute. Yes, Mara says. The outside slot is public. They ask about cameras. Mara shows them the grainy feed. It shows nothing. They ask if we have had threats. We say no. They take the receipt. As they leave, one officer turns and says, almost casually, you might want to keep someone from being alone down there. We try, but the library is understaffed. Shifts overlap poorly. People call out. The basement still needs to be emptied. 2 nights later, I am alone again. Mara is upstairs with a line of patrons. Len is off. I stand at the top of the basement stairs and listen. Quiet. I tell myself to be an adult. I tell myself it is paper and metal and coincidence. I go down. The sorting room smells different. Warmer. Not like heat. Like breath held in a mouth. I walk to the bin. The lid is closed. I hear the scrape. It comes from inside the chute, but it is not above me. It is beside me. A second scrape answers it from the far end of the basement, near the archival stacks. I freeze. The basement is larger than most patrons realize. Beyond the sorting room is a corridor lined with compact shelving, old newspapers, microfilm cabinets, and locked doors for storage. The second scrape comes again, closer, like something moving without feet. I force myself to look. Between the shelves, at the edge of the corridor light, there is a figure. Just a man, at first glance. Average height. Dark coat. Hands in pockets. He stands as if he belongs there, as if he is waiting for me to finish a task. My throat closes. Steph only, I say, and my voice sounds thin. He steps into the light. He is younger than I expect, maybe early 30s, clean-shaven, neat hair, calm eyes. He does not look like someone breaking in. He looks like someone who made an appointment. He smiles slightly. "You are doing great," he says, like we have talked before. "I do not know you." He glances at the bin. He seems pleased by it. "They come back warm when you do it right," he says. My stomach drops. "What do you want?" He tilts his head, listening, as if he hears something I cannot. Then he looks at me again. "I want you to stop pretending you cannot hear it," he says. My hands are shaking. I keep them at my sides so he cannot see. "How did you get down here? The return slot is generous," he says, conversational. "People think it is only for books." I stare at him. "That is impossible." He shrugs as if I am arguing about weather. "You keep asking for proof," he says. "You keep wanting someone to believe you." He steps closer. The air around him smells faintly of clean paper warmed by skin. He stops an arm length away, careful not to invade too much. His politeness makes it worse. He looks at my badge. "You still use that nickname," he says, "even though your mother hates it." My heart bangs against my ribs. "Do not talk about her." He nods once, accepting the boundary like a coworker. "Fair," he says. "How is the scar on your thigh?" My breath catches. I do not move. He smiles again. "Small. You got it when you were 9, he says. "Bike chain. You told everyone you fought a dog." My vision narrows. I do not tell anyone that story. He leans slightly toward the chute. "Listen," he says softly. The scrape starts again, loud, right above the bin. Scraped. Go. Exhale. Warm air washes over my face, intimate as someone leaning in to whisper. A book drops. Then another. Then something that is not a book. It lands with a soft, heavy sound that makes the bin ring. The stranger watches me, waiting. "Go ahead," he says. "Empty it." I do not. He sighs, patient. "They are returned," he says. "They are always returned. That is the rule." I take a step back toward the stairs. He does not stop me. He only turns his head slightly, as if listening to a conversation behind him. "You think the police took the receipt," he says. My skin goes cold. He looks back at me, eyes calm. "It does not stay where you put it," he says. "It stays where it belongs." I swallow. "Where is it?" He nods toward the bin. I stand frozen, staring at the closed lid. The scrape begins again, but this time it is slow and continuous, like something large easing down the chute, careful not to tear itself. The metal mouth of the chute makes a sound like teeth chipping. The stranger speaks in the same casual tone. "You will understand when you see the last return," he says. The lid of the bin trembles as if something underneath has pressed against it. I reach for the stairs. Behind me, the stranger says my full name, softly, perfectly, the way my mother does, and the bin lid lifts by itself, just an inch, releasing a breath of heat into the room. The scrape stops. Something inside settles, as if it has found its place. Then I hear the wet thump again, but it is not from the chute. It is from the bottom of the stairs behind me, like a hand setting something down on the first step. I turn. There is a book on the stair. It is worn, and is open to a page that has my handwriting on it. I did not write in any library book. The stranger waits in the corridor light, smiling like he is All Might. "Go on," he says. "Read what you return." My fingers hover over the page. The paper is warm enough to feel alive. Above me, the staff door clicks, as if someone has just locked it from the outside.